Welcome to Proposal Buster, a new and innovative app that's going to dramatically transform the way you develop a proposal. Now, if you want to know more about the reason for developing Proposal Buster, simply click on the welcome page, which will give you an introduction of where to find this YouTube video, where to download future versions of the Proposal Buster as we make additions and improvements, and how to feedback to me, the developer. Now, this tool is only as good as the feedback we get, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. But on the welcome page, we have the goals of Proposal Buster, more of how it's going to help you, and a quick guide or set of instructions at the base. But the purpose of this little video is to show you and give you a quick run through how to use it. So we return to the home page, which is going to be from where you coordinate your proposal development. The first thing you're going to do is select from the type of approach that you're using for this proposal. Is it going to be a development one, disaster risk reduction, emergency response, or transition? By selecting from one of these, you're narrowing down the narrative selection and the budget selection that you're given later on. I'm going to choose an emergency response proposal. Now, if you're one of those people who like to develop your proposal section by section, you can choose from the drop-down list here. For myself, I like to do the whole thing in one go. So I'm going to use all proposal sections, or I could simply leave it on the default select from drop-down menu. Now, you can choose from any one of these sector categories for the proposal that you're looking for. Now, obviously, these are broad-ranging categories, and so we can narrow down the search category by looking through the subsector box. Now, you'll see this dash here. Now, depending on what you choose in the programming approach above, some of these subsectors will cancel out, because clearly during emergency response, certain subsectors are not relevant, whilst during development time, certain emergency sectors are not relevant. So this just helps narrow down your search further. Now, for the purposes of our proposal that we're developing here, I'm going to choose water supply. Now, you see as I choose that, the rest blank out. And this shows you that you can now proceed to your generate proposal. So you click this icon, and it will work through the database and select out those elements that are important for water supply. So you see here, we've selected out WASH, development, protection and rehabilitation. And this narrative section basically works through all of the normal proposal elements of goals, indicators, outcome indicators, outputs indicators, activity areas, beneficiaries, risks and assumptions, monitoring and evaluation, implementation approach, and so forth. So you'll simply work through this list of ideas, and you will select yes against those which you think you might want to include into your narrative. So you can see I've already pre-selected out a few of the areas of interest, and what I'll do is simply select yes in the column besides. Once I'm happy that I've covered the narrative section, I can then move on to the budget, which is click for budgeting here, and you basically follow the same process. This list generates various NFIs and water intervention budget items that you might need to consider in your budgeting. It will also work through a whole range of staffing requirements, and again you will simply select yes against those that you think are relevant to this proposal and you might need to include into your budget. As you work through your program development, you might think at some stage that you want to see a consolidation of all of the yeses that you've chosen to date. So for this, and same on the narrative side, you'll see this icon on the top left hand side saying click to see all your budget choices. So I click that, and you'll see that it consolidates a list of all the budget items. You would use the same process for the narrative selection here. To return to the default, if you suddenly think you need to include other things, you simply select the icon beneath it. Now once you're happy we have covered the water supply section, simply click Home and it will reset your home page, and you can now select another subsector of WASH. In this case we wanted to include hygiene promotion. But if it's a proposal where you want multiple sectors or completely different sectors, you can do the same as well. The point is that bit by bit you can build up one complete proposal. So we've chosen hygiene promotion. I'm just going to select yes against this. And we work through basically the same process as I've described earlier. Again, once we're satisfied with the narrative, click budgeting. Work through budgeting. Maybe we want to do some NFIs in this relief context. And generate your list of budget items. What I want to point out here is that this tool is as good as the feedback that we get. And so at the moment some of the content is rather rudimentary. So as you see corrections and improvements, I'd appreciate it if you put your comments and ideas in these cells beside here, and then send them back to me, hughgraded@worldvision.org, for inclusion into the next round. And you'll be able to download improved versions on the app warehouse, which is linked on the welcome page. Now I believe we've completed our proposal to the standard that we wanted, and we are simply going to click on once your proposal is completed icon. Well, congratulations! You've now formulated your basic core content. Your job is to add, refine, and contextualize your proposal for specific situation and towards the donor, and hopefully make it a winner. Now you're still going to be asking me, how do I convert this to Word? So what you do is you simply click this icon to see your narrative selection. Then I would suggest section by section you copy and paste into a Word document. Paste using this icon, use destination styles, and there you have it, your narrative in Word format. You can merge these cells, reformat it in any way you like, and I would suggest you go backwards and forwards, toggling and inputting this content into your donor format. Now, as for the budgeting side of things, this is our selection of budget line items. You can simply copy and paste these into your donor format and start setting numbers against them. I hope you found this a very simple tool to use, and I'm looking forward to getting feedback and hope that you enjoy using it a lot. I think it's a new and revolutionary approach, and it could, if people feed back into it, become a sort of Wikipedia on NGO development operations and relief operations. Thanks for your time.